Hi everyone, I'm Laura and I haven't been here for quite some time doing a new video, but today here I am. I'm going to be trying. I've been looking at these little pumpkin forms for a couple of years now thinking, I don't know which one I want to do. I'm going to give one a shot today. I'm going to try using some 5.5 inch, 6 inch, I don't know what this is, but ribbon that I happen to have a little bit of excess on hand here in my shop. And for those of you that might be watching this that follow me and know a little bit about my shop, you might just find this in the Maker's Market here very soon, what I have left of this. And if that's the case, I will put that in the description below of this video. But I am the owner of My Home Matters, LLC, and our website is shopmyhomematters.com. So please come check us out, see what we have to offer. We have a monthly subscription box and lots of DIY home decor kits. So I'm going to work my way through figuring out what I want to do with this pumpkin wreath and show you what I'm doing. So come along. Please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to my channel. That would be much appreciated. So here we go. So, and my dog is in the background. If you hear panting, he's standing behind me with a toy, wanting me to throw his toy for him. So here's what I'm going to do to start. So you could do, I've seen this done with 2.5 inch ribbon. I've seen it done with chunky yarn, and I was torn on which way I wanted to do it, but I happen to have several rolls of this ribbon, which I believe this came from Hobby Lobby. But I'm going to just kind of come over here on the end. I'm just going to wire tie this to the wire. I want to make sure I go around the wire itself, but I want to make sure that stays in place. I'm going to press it down here towards the bottom, and I think this will fit through, but I'm going to weave it in and out. And as I do that, I'm just going to try to make the folds. I'm going to try to keep the end here, the edge, from sticking out. I'm going to try to fold that in, but I'm just weaving in and out of these wire dividers and pushing this all down to the bottom. Now, I think I'm going to take a couple more of these and just sort of anchor a couple of these bottom sections in place. So I'll do this one. Let's pull this out a little bit further. And then I'll pull it tight. I'll do another one down here. Actually, I think I'll go in here. And then one more over here at this last one. So now I'm going to work my way back the other way and see how far this gets me. So I'm going to go around the outer rim and kind of twist it so that it's laying nicely. And then I'm going to weave my way back in front and behind, in front and behind, all the way back over. And then same thing, just keep pushing it down. And then let's see what happens if I don't do any glue or anchoring. Let's take it back around, and again, I might, I don't know if I need to twist it. Just make sure it feels like it's laying nicely on the edge. Over and under. But I always want to make sure I get around that outer edge. So I imagine you can make this as full or as loose as you'd like. I feel like it's going to look best if I fill it in as, you know, push it down as much as I can. And I'm going to turn these edges in. So now I'm on my way back over. And again, I'm just going to keep turning these under. So now I'll speed this process up a little bit for you as I work my way up, and I'll stop it if I find any need for putting some glue in. Okay, so I have my hot glue gun going, and I think I might just see what happens if I put a little bit in here. I'm about, I don't know, a quarter of the way up. If I put a little bit in there, just to kind of hold one of these pieces that is going over the wire in place. Just a little bit. I need another stick of glue. And by doing that, I'm kind of able to push it down enough to sort of hide the green wire a little bit. And then if there's any of these other spaces after all is said and done, I can always come in, put a little dollop in there to kind of push those pieces together to hide any of that. So I'm kind of putting it on the wire, but I'm also just sort of pulling a couple of pieces of the ribbon together, gluing them together. But then I can always go back in and do that. But you can see kind of the effect that you're getting. So I'm definitely going to need, I don't know how many of these rolls. Okay, now I've come back under. Now I need to go over and under. So I'm going to go again. All right, so where I ended, I had just come back around. But I think what I'm going to do is take my new roll and a wire tie, and and kind of fold this maybe in 4s and fold this one in 4s sort of around that. Just so I have a big hunk there. And then I'm gonna gather these together. And work my way, try to work this in. And connect them together like that. So now I just have one continuous strand. Let me clip this off so that I can keep going. So now, where that end is, I'm gonna try to hide it as best I can. Or where that connection is. I'm gonna try to hide it behind. Probably gonna see that a little bit, but I'm gonna try not to worry about it until I'm gonna see if I can hide it in the next row. I am having to twist my ribbon because I got it all twisted. Now I'm trying not to pull so tight that it squishes the frame in. I don't want to break the frame or anything. I want it to be tight but not pulling. So I discovered that I went in the same pattern a couple of rows back. So I'm going back, taking these back couple rows out. Where was it? Did I? Over, under, over, under, over, under, right here. So I've got to go back one more. Back to here. Now I've got to go over and under. There we go. So you may have seen me stop and do one here. I'm going to come up here and try to do one as well. I'm just going to take another wire tie. Oh, I finally found a little one. And I'm just trying to grab a couple of layers, 2 or 3 layers, and grab it with this wire tie with just as little coming through showing on the front as possible. So I just want to get like a layer. I have this weird fly that won't leave me alone down here. I think something's wrong with it because it is not moving super fast. But anyway, I'm just going to grab part of it. Actually, I want to grab the wire too, and just part of this ribbon. Just a little bit of the wire so that I've got something to grab onto. Pull it real tight. It's not going to hold it from sliding up and down, but it's going to kind of hold those pieces in the general vicinity together. So I still have some little bits and pieces to kind of hide, but now it's getting a little bit more difficult to, let me untwist, to feed the ribbon through this little narrow section here. But I'm trying to do it without having to untangle the whole thing or unwind the whole thing, and without popping the wire frame apart, breaking it. So if I can get one more in there, maybe by the time I get back to this side again, I'll unwind enough, but we'll see. So I'm going to put a little bit more glue over here. Push that section into it. And then I've got to go down, just gently, trying not to break the frame. So this is my third roll of burlap. Which, if you wanted to use ribbon, you could do the same thing, but the ribbon might not be as hard to get through when you get to the top here. But I'm going to have the same issue here on this side now. Can I get this through? One more time. I don't know, maybe. get some of the slack out. And here I am, probably not going to be able to get that through now. So I think I'm going to go ahead and trim some of this off so that I don't have to unwind the whole thing. And that way I can go through one more time there. So now, if I connect these together, I'm probably just going to unwind the rest. How much that'll be. It's still going to be kind of awkward. I don't think I can get this whole thing through. I got to come around and down. What I should have done was not connected these. Maybe that's what I'll do. Not connected them until after I went through, or up and around anyway. Because see, if I come up and around, I can still fit that through, down, and then I can even get that little bit back up through again. Now I can connect them and then go a little further. Under, I've got to go over. Now, some of this up here I'm going to be able to cover with whatever topper I do. Just want to see how gathered I want to make it. Or if I can open it up a little bit, make it a little fuller. Because technically, I've got to go down in here one more time. And that's going to be tricky, but maybe. I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm going to trim it again. Okay. So here we go again. Connecting. It's like the never-ending process. So now at this side, I'm just gonna kind of omit those last little hunks there and just maybe try to glue it around. Yeah, so I'm just gonna put some glue back here. Try to wrap it. And then if I skip that one, I'm going to be coming right back through. So I'm just going to kind of do my best to make it look consistent up here. I may just wrap around here, come back up again, just to hide that wire. But I'm going to be putting some bows up here and some fullness, so I can kind of hide some of what's happening up here. So I kind of just hid the wire by wrapping it around. Now I'm going to go back in and try to weave it again, just to fill in a little bit of this excess. Gap. Okay, so that filled a lot of it in. So I'm going to trim this last bit off, and I have a little bit of space right here. So I'm going to thread that through just to fill the gap a little bit. I'm just going to let that hang down back there. So now I'm going to take some time to put a little bit of glue in and fold some of these down so that they cover those wire spots. Now I'm back to figure out what I want to do up here on the stem. I think I'm going to get my glue gun going again. So I've got some things to hide, some of these things to hide. Let's just see what I can do here. I think I'll go ahead and start this down here. Tie that on, just give it a starting point. I'm going to just extend it up. Kind of make a larger stem. That I can glue on there and then wrap it. And that way I can kind of tuck it in behind there too. I don't know if this is going to be hot enough yet, so I got to give that a minute. So in the meantime, I'm going to see how I want to do this. I kind of want some long tails. I don't know how much of this I have left on this roll. This is just ribbon that I had left. But I want to keep the tails nice and long in case I need to cover anything. Let's see if I can do 2 on each side. And I don't have any kind of measuring technique that I do on these. I just kind of estimate. But whenever the ribbon is two different sides, a good side and a bad side, then I bring them together at the point and twist. Or at the center and twist. So that gives me two pretty long tails. And then I am going to just temporarily, what do I have available? Piece of twine. I'm just going to lightly tie this together. And then I'm going to come back in here, do the same thing. I'm going to keep the tail long. So again, it has a good and a bad side, or a good and a back. I'm going to make these a little bit smaller, but every time I go to make a new loop, I twist it, bring it back to the center, pinch it, twist, and I just try to keep my loops about the same. Pinch, twist. And then if I lay that over, carefully unloop this and lay that over top. And then retie it. Oops, I missed. Tie it real tight, and I'm going to tie it in a knot. And I think I'll just let those pieces of twine dangle down. And then I also think I have some textured leaves that I just happen to have gotten. I don't remember where I got them, but before I do anything else, let's see if my glue is hot enough to put my stem on. Put a little bit on this way. And that way, if I get that in there pretty good, I'm going to hurry up and start wrapping it while the glue is kind of setting. Here I'm going to have to kind of maybe crisscross a little bit. wrap it around. So that took a little bit more than I had wanted or intended. But that's okay. Now I'm going to trim this off. I'm going to go get a bunch of glue in here. This is probably way more twine than I needed to use. That's what happens when you do too much winging it. Okay, so I have some of these little burlap leaves that I think would go well, and they would kind of serve as a way to kind of hide some of the other stuff. And they have like these nice little points on them that I could just tuck them in and hook them on until I know for sure where I want them. But I might kind of put them down a little bit. And then if I play with where I want, I could put it in the middle, I could put it on the side. Let's say I want to put it kind of over here. Just so my stem shows. I'm going to work this twine through and tie it on temporarily, give it a place, because I kind of want it to be down a little bit. So I might actually thread this twine in further down. I'm going to give it a little knot. And then I'll just see where these tails kind of lay, see how much it covers things. I could rearrange these burlap leaves to be more over top of the tails than under them, whatever you prefer. Foof your ribbon as much as you want. I'm going to make a V on the bottoms of my two tails, but I'm going to keep them pretty long. Same with these. And then once I'm sure that's where I want everything, I'm going to put a little glue behind there to make sure that the ribbon, the bow stays in place. Same with my little burlap leaves. So I'm going to come under here. And let that glue kind of help. Put a little bit of glue up here under this stem. And this one, and And I think also I'm going to take some more of my twine. I'm going to wrap some more around the stem behind here, tie it in a knot. Down low where you're not going to see it very much. Double knot. And try to drape those under too. And then when I put it up, it'll kind of give me more of an idea of what else I want over here. I may need to come over here and hide some of this glue that I got on here. But for the most part, I think I'm done. I just want to get that little section to stick together better. But I think that's it. I'm going to hang it up and see what it looks like from here.